राम राम हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण everyone. So today is 23rd of December. It is Saturday and it is Margasisha Masa or Keshava Masa. Shukla Paksham and Dwadasi Tithi. So today break the fast between 8:04 and 10:41 a.m. So therefore the Moksha Ekadasi, whoever is fasting, so they can break the fast during after 8:04. Okay, so we shall quickly enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shemika Rishi is speaking to his son Shringi. So, my dear son, you have done a great mistake. And then he started giving so many reasons. Saying that tad adyaha na papam upaiti anvayam ananvayam yannasta vaso vilumpakat parasparam gnanti sapanti runjate pasun striyo ardhan purusho dasyo janaha. So many plunderers and rogues will be developed and they will loot the people in general. And they kill each other, they harm each other, they steal the animals and women. So in such a way, तदार्यः धर्मः प्रविलीयते नृणां वर्णाश्रमाचारयुतः त्रयीमयः ततो अर्धकाम अभिनिवेशितात्मानं शुनां कपीनामिव वर्णसङ्करः. Just like dogs and monkeys, they will be completely absorbed in the economic development and sense gratification. Tato ardhakama abhiniveshitatmanam sunamiva kapinamiva varnasankaraha. They will beget unwanted population. So just because this monarchy is being cursed, so that it will be vanquished very quickly. How it is systematically vanquished. Tad Arya Dharma previlite nunam. Arya Dharma previlite. This Varnashrama Dharma, Varnashramachara Yuta Trimayaha, that is directly coming from the Vedas, is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Varnashrama Dharma. Trimayaha. Varnashramachara Yuta Trimayaha. It is Sakshat Vedam. So it will be systematically destroyed. Tad Arya Dharma previliyate nunam in the human society. So because of that, Tato Ardha Kama Abhiniveshitatmanam, completely absorbed in the sense gratification, just like a Sunam Kapinam Iva Varna Sankaraha. They will beget unwanted children, just like dogs and monkeys. So in such a way, Shemika Rishi is explaining to his son, "Oh, my dear son, you have done a great mistake." And also, he is saying one more reason from the uh, Parikshit's point of view. Parikshit Maharaj, he is the righteous king, and he is the emperor, and his glories are celebrated throughout the world, and he is the emperor of the world. He is directly Mahabhagavata. He is the Mahabhagavata, and he has performed so many Ashwamedha yagas. And when he was hunger and thirst, when he was taken with hunger and thirst, at that time, when he has done, we should not be cursing such kind of king in like that to give big punishment. that he is going to be bitten by the Takshaka snake in 7 days. It is a very big punishment. And he is not deserved to be cursed like that. Likewise, Shemika Rishi is saying, we are in the first canto, chapter 18, verse number 46. Dharmapalo narapatihi satu samrat bruhasravaha sakshan mahabhagavato rajashihi hayamedhayat kshutrut shramayito dhino naiva asmat syapam arhati. Dharmapalo narapatihi. So the Dharmapala, who is the righteously, who is the protector of the religion, Dharma, righteously ruling the kingdom, and who is also the protector of the religion, Dharmapalo Narapatihi, the king, Satu Samrat Bruhashravaha, Satu Samrat Bruhashravaha, he is the Satu Samrat, he is the emperor, Bruhashravaha, and his glories are celebrated, highly celebrated, Bruhashravaha. Satu Samrat Bruhashravaha, Sakshan Mahabhagavato, and he is the Mahabhagavad, the first class devotee of the Lord. Sakshat, directly. So since he was in the womb of his mother, since that time, he has seen the Lord. And as soon as he came out from into this material world, he was trained by the great grandfathers like Yudhishthira Maharaj and Arjuna. They are all the devotees of the Lord, to whom Krishna acted like a servant and like a chariot driver and a messenger and a good instructor. Likewise, in so many ways, Krishna has been assisting the Pandavas. So, and Parikshit has come from that dynasty. Sakshat Mahabhagavato is the directly from the first class devotee of the Lord. Rajarshi, he is the saintly king. Hayamedayat, and he has performed so many Ashwamedha yagas. Ashwamedha yajnas. Rajarshi Hayamedayat. Should Trud Shamayuto Dhino, and when he was struck with hunger and thirst, Shramayuto, he was completely tired. Shramayuto Dhino, and he was fatigued and stricken, tired and fatigued and stricken with the hunger and thirst. Chutrut Shramayuto Dhino. So during that situation, Nayeva Asmat Syapam Arhati. Nayeva Asmat. So by us, he should not be receiving a curse like that. Nayeva Asmat Syapam Arhati. Arhati is the deserves. Na Arhati, he is not deserved to be. Eva Asmat Syapam, the curse by us. He should not be deserving the curse like that. When he was hunger and thirst and fatigue and tired, and he was stricken with all these things. Shramayito Dhino. At the time, he should not be receiving curse like this. Even though he did, it was the very tiny mistake. So likewise, Shemika Rishi is saying to his son, explaining everything about, and he has taken all the responsibility for their curse on all the Brahmanas, even though not all the Brahmanas are directly responsible. So Dharma Paulo Narapatihi Satu Samrat Bhashravaha Sakshat Mahabhagavato Rajashihi Hayamedaya Kshatrut Shamayuto Dhino Nayeva Asmat Syapamarhati. So translation for this verse. The Emperor Parikshit is a pious king. He is highly celebrated and is a first-class devotee of the personality of Godhead. He is a saint amongst royalty, and he has performed many horse sacrifices. When such a king is tired and fatigued, being stricken with hunger and thirst, he does not at all deserve to be cursed. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After explaining the general codes relating to the royal position and asserting that the king can do no wrong and Therefore, he is never to be condemned. The sage Semika wanted to say something about Emperor Parikshit specifically. The specific qualification of Maharaja Parikshit is summarized herein. The king, even calculated as a king only, was most celebrated as a ruler who administered the religious principles of the royal order. In the Shastras, the duties of all castes and orders of society are prescribed. All the qualities of a Kshatriya mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 18.43 were present in the person of the emperor. He was also a great devotee of the Lord and self-realized soul. Cursing such a king when he was tired and fatigued with hunger and thirst was not at all proper. Shemik Rishi thus admitted from all sides that Maharaja Parikshit was cursed most unjustly. Although all the Brahmanas were aloof from the incident, still, for the childish action of a Brahmana boy, the whole world situation was changed. Thus, Rishi Semika, a Brahmana, took responsibility for all the deterioration of the good orders of the world. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about the Parikshit, how Shemika, this is the explaining the entire situation. And here on a king, he has got all the good qualities of Kshatriya. So here is Sauryam te Dutidaksham Yuddecha Api Apalayanam Dhanam Ishwara Bhavascha Kshatrajam Karma Subhavajam. These are the qualities of a king. So here he is speaking about the Parikshit Maharaj. So he is the grandson of the Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is the devotee of the Lord. So he has ruled the king by the instructions received from Krishna directly. Pitra cha Anumato Raja Vasudeva Anumoditaha Chakarajyam Dharmena Pitrupaitam Aham Vibhuhu. So after the Kurukshetra battle, he has he has received instructions from the Bhishma Dev and also Krishna directly, and then he ruled the kingdom by Nishimya Bhishmoktam Ata Achyutoktam Pravruta Vijnana Vidota Vibhramaha Sesasagamindra Ivajitashrayaha Paridi Upantam Anujanuvattitaha. He ruled the entire world when his brothers were assisting Yudhishthira Maharaj. So at that time, the Parikshit Maharaj, he has learned all the codes of religion and the ruling, how to rule, and he became the perfect Rajashi under the training of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And he was being compared to all the great saintly kings in the past. Everyone, almost all except Krishna. Krishna, when it comes to Krishna, he was the devotee of the Krishna. He is Sakshan Mahabhagavato. So that is the quality. So when the king was stricken with the hunger and thirst, it is not appropriate to curse. But we have made so much of it's a big mistake. Likewise, Shemika Rishi is telling to Shringi. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharmapalo Narapatihi Satasamrat Dhrushravāha Sakshat Mahabhagavato Rajashi Harshamedaya Shutrut Shramayito Dhenu Naeva Asma Syapamarhati. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today, it is today letter to Jay Gopala, November 19th, 1969, London. It is a very tiny letter. Can I request any devotees to read this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, may I read it?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. My dear Jaya Gopala, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your letter dated November the 13th, 1969, with enclosure of my maintenance check. I hope everything is going on nicely in Columbus, and I'm sure under your able management, it must be going on smoothly. I have written one letter to Pradyumna and Arundhati, regarding composing my books. So I'm very anxiously awaiting the reply. Please inform them about this and let me know what is the situation there. Offer my blessings to all of them, and I hope this will meet you in good health. Thank you very much once more for your letter. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Yes, my takeaway point, of course, is a very short letter. My takeaway point from this letter is Srila Prabhupada again and again. He is emphasizing on books, because books are the heart of Srila Prabhupada. And as Srila Prabhupada said, that he will be alive through his books, so we can associate with Srila Prabhupada through his books. So Srila Prabhupada again has emphasized on composing the books, and of course on the whole process, because the preaching is based on the book distribution. And also another point is, Srila Prabhupada says that with enclosure of my maintenance check. So yes, Srila Prabhupada was really personal to each and every devotee, to their needs of each and every institution or a temple or branch of ISKCON and their needs. And he had the eye and he had the mind to look after them personally. Thank you, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully summarized. Any other points, dear devotees? Okay, so in this letter, Prabhupada is mentioning, so emphasizing on the books. Books are meant for reading. So we need to take that opportunity to study these books. So this is Prabhupada's hard work and extracting. So Krishna, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandanaha Padvavatsa Siddhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amrutam Mahat. Krishna extracted all the Vedas from and summarized into Bhagavad Gita. And that is the cream of all the Vedas. And he has given by keeping Arjuna as the Vatsa and Sudhir Bhokta. And we are all Sudhir Bhokta, all the saintly people, devotees, are Sudhir Bhokta. Prabhupada, in the similar way, Prabhupada extracted essence which is needed for the modern world and put it everything in the books. We need to take that nectar, and we are all Sudhir Bhokta. We need to take that one, drink the nectar. That is Prabhupada's here. So all the acharyas, everyone, they are putting their energy and their austerity and penances. They injected into these books, extracted different parts of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Brahma Samhita, other Puranas, everything put together. That is in our Prabhupada's books. Whenever these books are read, we relish those points, and life will be nourished. The conditioned souls will be nourished. Okay, so Prabhupada is also emphasizing here. Now we are seeing practical experiencing those points. Okay, that is my takeaway. Any other points? And from the announcements point of view, so yesterday, dear devotees, thank you so much for reciting Bhagavad Gita chapters, everything very beautifully. It is generally, it has crossed 3 hours, and but still very blissful. So we could hear all the devotees reciting Bhagavad Gita and the Moksha Ekadasi day. And that is very, very important. So as soon as every day we have to hear Bhagavad Gita, we need to read at least one shloka and study Bhagavad Gita. Gitaadhyayanam Silasya Pranayama Parasya Naiva Santihi Papani Purva Janma Krutani Cha Maline Mochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrut Gitamrita Snanam Samsara Malanashanam Gita Sugita Kartavya किं मन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद् विनिश्रुता. So these are Krishna's, this is Gita Mahatmyam. Bharatamrut sarvasvam Vishnu Vaktrad Vinishrutam Gita Gangodakam Pitva Punarjanma Na Vidyate Sarvopanishado Gavodhogda Gopalanandanaha Paddo Vachaha Sudirbhokta Tugdham Gitamrutam Mahat Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantra Tasya Namanayani Karmapyekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Just only one mantra, one activity, one shastra, and only one supreme personality of Godhead. That is the Gita Mahatmyam. And all the devotees took the opportunity to recite Srimad Bhagavad Gita yesterday. It is all auspicious. Thank you so much. Just we would have recited this summary of Bhagavad Gita yesterday, but due to the timings, it exceeded, and also working day for many of devotees. Okay, so that is from the announcement point of view. And after that, today evening we have got Bhagavad Gita regular session with Krishna Keshav Prabhuji at 7 p.m. That is today's evening event. And so now we are going to enter into Srimad Bhagavatam, Chatushloki Bhagavata. It is very essence of entire Srimad Bhagavatam. The 4 verses that Lord is going to speak, which will be expanded further as these 18 cantos, those things. But that is the 4 verses. They are called seed verses. Okay, that is the announcement side. And dear devotees, if you have got any other points you wanted to share on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Okay, so if there are no points to share, then we shall move on to the next part of our program. This is second canto, chapter 9. Okay, we are in the Chadeshloki Bhagavata. Yes, this is the one. Okay, so before we start, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma, so after he saw the Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was asking, "Oh my dear Lord, how you enter into this cosmic manifestation, how you act, how your energies would act." And then he was asking all these things directly from the Lord. And finally, so even the Lord asked him, "You can ask any desires, or I will fulfill all of your desires." And Krishna says that, the Supreme Lord says to Brahma that, "But the ultimate desire is only to come and to my abode and experience those pleasure that he has given." And then later on, Brahma understood those things, and he was asking so many things about Krishna, Lord's pastimes, how you enter into this one. And finally, he says, "And you also behaved with me like a friend. You have given a handshake, just one friend handshakes with the other friend. So, and I should not be puffed up when I'm carrying out those my duties in the while creating so many living entities, 8.4 million kinds of species I would be creating at the time. I should not be getting any disturbances, or not puffed up that I have seen the Lord, I know everything, like that. I wouldn't have getting this kind of puffed upness. So likewise, यावत् सका सख्युरिवेशते कृतः प्रजाविसर्गे विविधामि भोजनम् अविक्लवस्ते परिकर्मणि सितो मामे समुन्नद्धम् अधोजमानिनः. So please always make me free from all kinds of puffed upness. So he says, so I pray that all this may not give rise to pride, as if I were the supreme. Likewise, Brahma in the previous verse, he was mentioning. Now, the Lord is very pleased again with the Brahma's questions and how he is feeling. Now, today, he is saying, the Lord is speaking to Brahma now. So he's saying that all the knowledge, all the confidential knowledge, and the scientific knowledge, everything, you would receive the knowledge from me. So please take it, and with by my mercy. Likewise, that the Lord is saying. So take it very carefully. The Lord is speaking because He is not going to give elaborate Bhagavatam like all our devotees. He is going to give four shlokas, the seed verses. So Brahma need to understand those things. He would expand little further to Narada. Narada would explain bit more to Vyasadev. Vyasadev expand a bit more than that. And our acharyas, they expand this nectar into ocean. And Prabhupada and all our Prabhupada's disciples. And wherever we go, we see only the nectar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here, that is the seed verses, the seed slokas. So the Lord is saying, Jnanam paramaguhyam me yadvijnana samanvitam sarahasam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya. Jnanam paramaguhyam me. So this knowledge, it is the confidential knowledge. Jnanam paramaguhyam. That is the knowledge, jnanam, extremely confidential. Paramaguhyam. Yad vijnana samanvitam, and which is realized and coordinated with the devotional service. Yad vijnana samanvitam. Yad vijnana, it is scientifically realized. Sarahasyam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya. This is Sarahasyam. It is the devotional service. It is very confidential. It cannot be understood just by hearing. It is experienced through the service. Sarahasyam. So that's why it is very confidential. These are reflections, journey within the heart. That's why people cannot understand through the so-called senses. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi न भवेद्ग्राह्यमिन्द्रियैः सेवोन्मुखैः जिह्वादौ स्वयमेव स्फुरत्यतः. When we engage in the devotional service, they will automatically reveal, but we cannot understand through the senses. So that's why it is called Sarahasyam and Tadangam cha, and all the necessary paraphernalia in supporting that confidential knowledge. Gruhana Gaditam Maya. Gruhana, just try to take up all this knowledge explained by me. So the Lord is saying, Gaditam Maya, explained by me. Jnanam paramaguhyam me yad vijnana samanvitam sarahasyam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya. Likewise, the Supreme Lord is speaking to Brahma. So, translation for this verse. The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential, and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. So this is very beautifully saying. Okay, the Lord is saying. So can I request dear devotees to read the purport? So there are one big paragraph only. Can I take one devotee to read this big purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. May
Maybe you can both Mataji's, you can do half in case.
okay, Prabhu.
Okay, let me just put here until that point, Mataji.
May I go first, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Lord Brahma is the topmost devotee of the Lord within the universe, and therefore the personality of Godhead replied to his four principal inquiries in four important statements, which are known as the original Bhagavatam in 4 verses. These were Brahma's questions. What are the forms of the Lord, both in matter and in transcendence? 2. How are the different energies of the Lord working? 3rd. How does the Lord play with his different energies? 4. How many Brahmas will be instructed to discharge the duty entrusted to him? The prelude to the answer is this verse under discussion, wherein the Lord informs Brahmas the knowledge of him, the supreme absolute truth, as it is stated in the revealed scriptures, is very subtle and cannot be understood unless one is self-realized by the grace of the Lord. The Lord says that Brahma may take the answers as he explains them. This means that transcendental knowledge of the Absolute Supreme Being can be known. It is made known by Lord Himself. By the material speculations of the greatest mundane thinkers, the absolute truth cannot be understood. The mental speculators can reach up to the standard of impersonal Brahman realizations. But factually, complete knowledge of transcendence is beyond the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Thus, it is called the supreme confidential wisdom. Out of many liberated souls, someone may be qualified to know the personality of Godhead in the Bhagavad Gita. It is also said by the Lord Himself that out of many hundreds of thousands of people, one may try for perfection in human life, but out of many liberated souls, one may know Him as He is. Therefore, the knowledge of the personality of Godhead may be attained by devotional service only. Rahasyam means devotional service. Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita because he found Arjuna to be devotee and friend. Without such a qualification, one cannot enter into the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita.
So, Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Meena Mataji, would you like to go now?
Therefore, one cannot understand the personality of Godhead unless one become a devotee and discharge devotional service. The mystery of love of Godhead, therein lies the main qualification for knowledge, the mystery of the personality of Godhead, and to attain the stage of transcendental love of Godhead. Regulative principle of devotional service must be followed. The regulative principles are called Vidhi, Bhakti, or the devotional service of the Lord, and they can be practiced by a neophyte with his present sense. Such regulative principles are mainly based on hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord, and such hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord can be made possible in the association of devotees. Only Lord Chaitanya, therefore, recommended 5 main principles for attaining perfection in the devotional service of the Lord. The first is association with devotee, hearing. Second is chanting the glories of the Lord. Third, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotee. Fourth, residing in a holy place connected with the Lord. And fifth, worshipping the deity of the Lord with devotion. Such rules and regulations are parts of devotional service. So, as requested by Lord Brahma, the personality of Godhead will explain all about the 4 questions put forward by Brahma and other also, which are part and parcels of same question. Thanks.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully read. So this is very detailed explanations. Later on, we would see all our acharyas have given immense descriptions of the Chatushloki Bhagavata. So here, so the questions, the Brahma's questions, Prabhupada is putting here in a summary. What are the forms of the Lord, both in matter and transcendence? And what are the transcendence and what are the matter? So whenever Krishna comes, Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya Sambhavami Atmamaya. That is the Atmamaya. That is the transcendence in his pure spiritual form. And in the form of matter, so Krishna's all other incarnations like different in the which are also spiritual, but they are empowered with the energy of the Lord, like Sekyaves avatars, Vyasadeva and Parashurama and so many other incarnations. That but all are spiritual, but the exhibition of the potency in a different based on time, place, and circumstances. So Brahma's first question is what are the forms of the Lord, both in matter and in transcendence? That is the forms of the Lord exist coming into the material world, and the forms of the Lord in the spiritual world, like Narayana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshana. So those forms the spiritual world. Okay, so that is first question. And second question is, how are the different energies of the Lord working? So Krishna says, Maya Jakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagad Viparivartate. So these are the things. What are those energies? So that is very, very important. Brahma is asking, what are your energies, oh my dear Lord? And this is Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. So internal potency and external potency. Those are Krishna's energies. Here Brahma's question is that how are the different energies of the Lord working? And then third question is, how does the Lord play with different energies? So in the spiritual energy with his internal potency, he manifests everything. He asked demigods to appear in the Gokula or Vrindavana here in the Atli pastimes and Dwaraka as the associates, and also as the Pandavas, they're all Lord's eternal associates. They have to birth here and to perform his pastimes, that is play. How does the Lord play with his different energies? This is in the material world, Krishna's spiritual pastimes. In the spiritual world, those are eternally going on. And what are those different energies? How does the Lord play? And how does those pastimes act on conditioned souls? And then next question is how may Brahma be instructed to discharge the duty entrusted to him? And when he was to create the living entities. He need to create so many living 8.4 million species of the living entities. That is the Prajavisarge Nijisasararhanam, to expand the living entities. He was the qualified person. Even though he was qualified, once again, he wanted to hear from the Lord directly. That is the authoritative instruction. So here Brahma is asking, how may Brahma be instructed to discharge the duty entrusted to him? So those are the questions. So these are the prelude to the answers in this verse under discussion, wherein the Lord informs Brahma that knowledge of him about the Lord. So Lord is going to say those verses in the coming verses. That is the supreme absolute truth. And it is very subtle and cannot be understood unless one is self-realized by the grace of the Lord. So this is the fourth Chatashloki Bhagavata. It is very, very difficult because it is very subtle. When the Lord is speaking to Brahma, what is the Brahma's position? He has done meditation for so many years of his life. And the Lord is completely transcendental. He is giving those instructions we cannot understand because of our material bodies. So we need to take whenever the realized souls, the instructions from the realized souls, then only we can understand. And then Brahma gave Narada, Narada gave to Vyasadeva. See, those things are coming based on time, place, and circumstances, based on the conditioned souls. Now, the people of this material world is, we cannot understand. Even the everything is put in front of, we cannot understand. Even the giving the food, we don't want. We want everything made very soft and ready-made, put in front of the plate. And even if we eat it, we cannot digest it. That is the problem with the current circumstances. So here they are very subtle. We need to understand from the realized soul. And then Lord says that Brahma may take the answers as he explains them. This means that transcendental knowledge of the absolute supreme being can be known if it is made known by the Lord himself. See, this is the we do not say it is my opinion like that. Whatever Lord says, we have to take as it is directly from the Lord. As a like Krishna spoke to Arjuna, those are statements. It is not opinions or speculation. Statements to be followed. By mental speculation of the greatest mundane thinkers, the absolute truth cannot be understood. Yeah, so here Prabhupada again mentions that point. And the mental speculators can reach up to the standard of impersonal Brahman realization. But factually, complete knowledge of the transcendence is beyond the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. So here Krishna says, Brahmano hi pratistaham amrutasya avyasasya shashvatasya cha dharmasya. So Shashvatasya cha aikantikasya cha. So that is the ultimate thing. That is only, but Krishna says, I am the basis for that impersonal Brahman. So that is, the limitation is there for the impersonalist. Thus it is called the supreme confidential wisdom. This Mayavadis, so they do not want to chant the Lord names and take the personal form of the Lord to worship him. They wanted to sit in a secluded place and they wanted to see Aham sarveshu bhuteshu sarvatma avastitah sada. The Lord says, I am the super soul living, existing in all the living entities. That one has to see. Even the devotee sees that kind of thing. At the same time, he also worships the Supreme Lord. Madhyashna darshana sparsha puja suti abhivandanaihi bhutesh madbhavanaya satvena asangamena cha. Likewise, he worshipped the Lord. So what is the difficulty in understanding? Impersonalist, they say Lord is everywhere. Lord doesn't have any form. And some people say, can you show me God? And so the Lord is everywhere. And why don't you accept when he is in the temple? So that is Prabhupada stresses as well. So here that it is called the supreme confidential wisdom. Out of many liberated souls, someone may be qualified to know the personality of Godhead. This is Manusyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaye Yatataamapi Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tatpataha. Very few people understand me scientifically, Tatpataha. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said by the Lord himself that out of many hundreds of thousands of people, one may try for the perfection in human life. Out of many liberated souls, one may know him as he is. Therefore, the knowledge of the personality of Godhead may be attained by devotional service only. That is by rendering Sevon Mukehi Jihvadu Swayameva Spurchadaha. The Lord only revealed himself when we are engaging the devotional service. This is Rahasyam, means devotional service. Prabhupada mentions that Rahasya means devotional service. Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita because he found Arjuna to be a devotee and friend. So without such qualification, one cannot enter into the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhaktatu, so Krishna says in the 11th chapter, after showing the Vishwarupa form, only bhaktas, they can praveshtum they only can enter into my confidential pastimes. It is also mentioned in the, this is just one to bring that verse. It is very beautiful verse, and how a devotee of the, so here, Bhaktya tu ananya sektya aham evam vidorjuna jnanam drashtum cha tatpena praveshtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. It is a mystery. It is very, very beautiful. It is the mystery. So here Prabhupada is explaining that one, mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. One cannot enter into mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, one cannot understand the personality of Godhead unless one becomes a devotee and discharge devotional service. So some people, outside people, they do not want to spend time in rendering devotional service. That is the problem. So they cannot understand anything at all. It is a nectar in the jar, licking the jar, not the nectar. So the mystery of love of Godhead therefore lies in the main qualification for knowing the mystery of the personality of Godhead. And to attain the stage of transcendental love of Godhead, regulative principles of devotional service must be followed. See, this is very, very important. On what degree we are following the regulative principles, and that degree we understand the Supreme Lord. Either we follow or we don't follow, this body will fall down. But use the bad bargain for the good use. Best use of the bad bargain. Regulative principles called Vidhi Bhakti are the devotional service of the Lord, and they can be practiced by the neophyte with his present senses. So this is Amyo Dravyam Punati, Na Punati Chikichitam. So this is Narada Muni says, when the conditioned soul come into this material world with the infected desires, unlawful desires, but when he come to senses, understanding that he is not the body, immediately he can engage all his body energy into devotional service of the Lord. They can be practiced by neophyte with his present senses. Then regulative principles are mainly based on hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord. Such hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord can be made possible in the association of the devotees only. Then only we are Sadam Prasangan Mama Viri Samvedo Bhavanti Hrukkana Rasayana Kataha Tadhoshanad Asu Apavargavatmani Shraddha Ratihi Bhakti Anukramishati. One after another, everything will be revealed. The Rati attachment to the devotional service and to the Lord, everything comes in the devotees association. Lord Chaitanya therefore recommended 5 main principles for attaining perfection in the devotional service of the Lord. First, association with the devotees. This is the most auspicious activity. When Lord Chaitanya asked Ramananda Raya, what is the most auspicious thing? Staying among the devotees. And what is the inauspicious? Forgetting Krishna. So it is the first is association with the devotees, hearing. Second is chanting the glories of the Lord. This is chanting the glories of the Lord by chanting the mantra and also reciting these Srimad Bhagavatam verses. The prayers are there. So many prayers. Whenever we are in the trouble, so Arjuna's prayers are in the Bhagavad Gita and also Bhagavatam also. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaho Bhaktanam Abhyamkara Tvam Yeko Dahimananam Apavargosi Samsritehe Tvam Adhya Purusah Takshadishvara Prakrute Paraha Mayam Vidase Chachitya Kaivalyasitatmani Saeva Jiva Lokasya Maya Mohita Chetasaha Vidaste Svena Vihirena Shriyo Dharmadilakshanam Tatayam Chavataraste Bho Bhadjishishaya Swanam Chananya Bhavanam Anadhyanaya Chasakurat. Arjuna's prayer, Uttara prayer, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate, Nanyam Twadhabhayam, Pasya Yatram, Mrityu Parasparam. Oh my dear Lord, except you, we don't have anyone in this material world. Material world is stuck with Dvandva, duality. So these are, when we are praying, these are the glories of the Lord. It contains these prayers contains all the philosophy, glories of the Lord, how he appears into the material world and give pleasure to the devotees, and at the same time relieve the devotees from this material world. So that is the chanting of the glories of the Lord. In the third one, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotee. So who are the pure devotee? Pure devotee is the one who has completely Maya Arpita Ashesha Kriya Ardha Atman Nirantaraha. All the time. His wealth, my tasmad Maya Arpita Ashesha Kriya Ardha Atma Nirantaraha. This is the one, a devotee. So Maya Arpita Yatatmano, that whoever is offering their complete their life, and Mai Sanyasta Karmanaha, they don't have any material desires. Tasma, so the Lord says, Nachapasyami param bhotam akattuho samadarshana, there is no greater than that devotee. That is the devotee, the pure devotee who has renounced everything. That means he has surpassed all the four varnas. Out of four varnas, Brahmana is the best. Out of Brahmanas, who knows the Vedas is the best. Out of them, who knows the meaning of the Vedas is the best. Out of them, who explain those meanings is the best. Out of them, who is actually following those things, Acharana, who are the practicing those, he is the best. Out of them, who has completely renounced from the results of their actions, he is the best. Out of them, who have surrendered adogda dharmamatmanaha, completely surrendered himself to the Supreme Lord, he is the best. And that's why the Lord says, Tasmat, therefore, napasyami param bhotam akattuho samadarshana, there is no better than my devotee anywhere in this param bhotam, out of all the living entities. So that is the pure devotee. So from him we have to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then fourth, residing in a holy place connected with the Lord. These holy places, all the dhamas, Vrindavan Dham, but it may not be possible for all the devotees to stay all the time. But wherever the devotees of the Lord exist, that place turned into a holy place. Bhavadvida Bhagavataha Tiddhaputaha Swambibho Tiddhe Kurandi Tiddhani Swantastena Gadapruta, because they speak only Krishna Katha, nothing else. They keep Krishna in the heart, and wherever go, Hiddhi Kurun Tadashrayaha. So this is, but they don't stay for the material things. So Sagodohana Matram hi Gruheshu Gruhamedinam Tad Apekshite Mahabhaga Tiddhi Kurun Tadashrayaha. So all the Gruhamedis, they are enjoying these sense gratifications at the home. These Bhagavatas, they go there, they stay for a little while, as much as the time, the milking the cow, and make that place as a holy place. Tiddhi Kurvanti Tadashrayaha. So likewise, these are the glories, that is the holy place. Always stay among the devotees, nearer to the devotees. When we don't have chance to go physically in the dhamas, like holy dhamas, like Vrindavan Dham. So many dhamas are there. And then fifth, here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipping the deity of the Lord with the devotion. This is Madhyashna Darshana Sparsha Puja Suti Abhivandanaihi. So this is the Saiva Bhakti Yoga Adhyatmika Udaprataha. It is called Bhakti Yoga. Because of this, Yena Ativrajyam Trigunam, one will surpass the three material modes of nature. Yena Ativrajyam Trigunam Madbhavaya Upavadhyate, they will attain my nature. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita entirely all these things, all the time. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam ye vaisisi uktaivam atmanam matparayanaha tannishtaha tadbuddhayaha tadatmanaha tatparayanaha kachanti apnaravartim jnanidhuta kalmashaha. all the things, it is only diverging to one, to worshipping of deity of the Lord, to completely absorb. At the same time, we need to see all the living entities everywhere. The Lord, we need to see Lord in all the living entities. It doesn't matter the body is different. Still, we see the Lord. And if you are worshipping the Lord and we discriminate the living entity based on the body, then the Lord says, Hitva acham bhajite maujhat basmani eva juhoti saha. And all your worship has no value at all. It is like a pouring the ghee in the ashes. It doesn't burn. Basmani eva juhoti saha. That is worshipping of love. We need to see the Lord in all the living entities equally. And see the Lord in all the living entities and respect them. Manasaitani bhutani pranamed bahumanayan. Pranamed bahumanayan. This is respecting all the living entities, thinking that this is the Lord is in all the living entities, knowing that one he offers his respects. Pranamed bahumanayan. Ishvaro jiva kalaya pravisto bhagavaniti. In all the living entities, the Lord has entered. That's why he is offering that respect to all living entities, irrespective of their bodily nature. That doesn't mean that we bring the dog into the home and keeping next to the owner and then eat with the dog. That is not the thing. But we see and respect it. That doesn't mean we change our behavior, change the regulations in the devotional service. So that is the worshipping of the deity of the Lord with the devotion. Devotion means he has got all the good qualities. He sees the Lord everywhere. Such rules and regulations are parts of devotional service. So, as requested by Lord Brahma, the personality of Godhead will explain all the 4 questions put forward by Brahma and others also, which are part and parcels of the same questions. See, so much of enlightenment Prabhupada has given in this purport for this verse. Jnanam paramaguhye me yed vijnana samanvitam sarhasyam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya. Very beautifully, Brahma is saying Lord is speaking to Brahma, and Prabhupada is explaining here in the purport to us. So, any questions in this purport, dear devotees? Are any questions, any comments, any additions?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, here is just like association and hearing from the pure devotee like Bhagavatam. So we are doing from you. You are pure devotee, and it's so nicely every day we just hear Bhagavatam and association. Every day we get association in the morning, Japan. So yeah, we are very grateful with all this. Thank you.
We are all grateful having all the pure devotees. They are coming into the Japan doing. It is all Prabhupada's mercy. So we are all trying. So Prabhupada is a pure devotee and he has given everything. We are taking that opportunity and did among the devotees. Thank you, Mataji. Any other questions or any points? Okay, so if there are no, and then we go to the next verse. So here in the next verse, the Lord is saying that what and all Brahma you would get from me, you would understand from me by my mercy. So he is saying here in the next verse, यावानहं यथा भावो यद्रूप गुणकर्मकः तथैव तत्त्वविज्ञानम् अस्तु ते मद् अनुग्रहात् यावान aham yatha bhavo. Yavan, as I am in the eternal form myself, and yatha bhavo, as much as transcendental existence. Yavan aham yatha bhavo. So this is Madbhavayu upapadhyate, Madbhavam agataha. So this is Krishna says number of times Madbhavam agataha. This is bhava stage. It is completely spiritual. Yad bhava. So here yavanaham yata bhavo. And how I existed in the spiritual yavanaham in my eternal form. Yata bhavo in the same transcendental existence. Yata bhavo yadrupa guna karmakaha. And that form and qualities and activities. Various forms and colors and qualities and activities. Yadrupa gunakarmakaha tataiva tattva vijnanam. Tataiva tattva vijnanam. And all these things definitely tataiva tattva vijnanam and factual realization, everything tattva vijnanam. Astute mad anugrahat. The Lord says here, astu. Astu means let it be. Let it be whatever, oh Brahma, you have asked, everything will be revealed in your heart. That degree you have asked, the degree you wanted to understand, the degree, everything you are rendering devotional service, until that degree, let it be understand by my mercy. Mad anugrahat, by my causeless mercy. How much you wanted to know, everything will be revealed to you. You wanted to know about my forms and transcendental? Yes, that will be revealed to you. You want to come to my abode? It will be revealed to you. You want to explore more into devotional service and like a gopis? You will get that one. Is that the degree you wanted? It will be revealed by my causeless mercy. But you have to bhuyastvam tapatishta madhyam chaiva madashriyam. So bhuyastvam tapatishta vidhyam chaiva madashriyam. So this is when Garbhodak Sai Vishnu speaks to Brahma also at that time. He says, so again you engage yourself in the meditation and by taking my shelter, then everything will be, you would see all these planetary systems, everything with you with your transcendental eyes. So that tatatmani cha loke cha bhakti yuktaha samahitaha. So into that degree, you will understand. It will be awakened within your heart by factual realization. What state you wanted, in which level. We have got a neophyte devotees, we have got Madhyamadikaris, we have got Bhagavatas, and we have got stages of Gopi level and Mahabhava, Radharani. So Radharani going to the Radharani level, how it would be possible unless one surrenders everything without any tinge of material thing? That is Mahabhava Surupeyam. Radharani is the Mahabhava Surupeyam. Shri Radha Thakurani. So this is Sarva Gunakani. Sarva Gunakani. It is Chaitanya, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains Radharani's qualities. Sarva Gunakani. And out of these two devotees of Krishna, Chandravali and Radhika, Radhika is the best. She has, likewise, it is not to decrease the another devotee's devotion, and here to glorify Radharani more as a mother and who is the eternal concept of Krishna. So here, likewise, all the beauties, we don't see anything tinge of criticizations in the devotional service. We glorify the Lord and Lord's devotees and connecting to the Lord. That is the beauty of it. So here, yavanaham yathabhavo yadrupa gunakarmakaha tataiva tattva vijnanam astute mad anugrahat, everything will be revealed. Astu, unto the degree how much you wanted to realize, everything will be revealed. So translation for this verse: all of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities, and activities, let all be awakened within you by factual realization out of my causeless mercy. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it has got how many paragraphs? It has got many paragraphs. Maybe with devotees can take the turns. Can I request first devotee to read the first 2 paragraphs?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I can read.
Yes, Mataji, please.
The secret of success is success in understanding the intricacies of knowledge of the absolute truth. The personality of Godhead is the causeless mercy of the Lord. Even in the material world, the father of many sons disclosed the secret of his position to the pet sons. The father discloses the confidence unto the son whom he think worthy. An important man in the social order can be known by his mercy only. Similarly, one must be very dear to the Lord in order to know the Lord. The Lord is unlimited. No one can know him completely. But one's advancement in transcendental loving service of the Lord can make one eligible to know the Lord. Here we can see that the Lord is sufficiently pleased with Brahmaji, and therefore he offered his causeless mercy to him so that Brahmaji may have the factual realization of Lord by his mercy only. In the Vedas, also it is said that a person cannot know the absolute truth personally of Godhead simply by dint of mundane education or intellectual gymnastic. One can know the supreme truth if one has unflinching faith in bona fide spiritual master as well as in the Lord. Such a faithful person, even though illiterate in the mundane sense, can know the Lord automatically by the mercy of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita also, it is said that the Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone, and he keeps himself concealed from the faithless by his Yogamaya potency. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here, once again, Prabhupada is explaining about the secret of success in understanding the intricacies of the knowledge of the absolute truth. So here, practically when we see, in our devotee sangha also, we see one devotee every day comes, doesn't speak, but the austerities and penances, Mataji, so they are very, very austere and chanting with focus minded, chanting, it doesn't matter. Mataji speaks or not, but attentive, discipline. For them, the Lord reveals it is the Arjavena, simple mind, simple way, not too much philosophy also. They understand, yes, this is right. It is coming from scriptures. It is aligned with the whatever Lord has spoken. Then they do not much speak. So that is, everything goes within the heart. It will be very easy, Arjavena. And here Prabhupada also, by the causeless mercy of the Lord, even in the material world, the father of many sons discloses the secret of his position to the pet sons. So this is Anugrahanam, Shishyanam, Putranam cha Dvijottama, Anaprushtam Bruyuho Guruvo Denavachalaha. Anaprushtam, this is the secret knowledge. Anuratanam, Shishyanam, whoever is followers, Shishyanam, the disciples, Putranam Chidviyottama, and also the sons. Anaprushtamapi Bruyuhu, they will explain this secret knowledge to the children. Guravo Denavachalaha, they mercifully give all this knowledge. This is called causeless mercy. The father discloses the confidence unto the son whom he thinks worthy. An important man in social order can be known by his mercy only. So similarly, one must be very dear to the Lord in order to know the Lord. So Krishna gives in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita everything very nicely here. Whoever is the very dear to the Lord, that is beautifully explained in the steps. Whoever is rendering devotional service without a deviation, they are very dear to the Lord. And whoever is spreading Krishna's glories, they are very dear to the Lord. Nachitasman Manusheshu. So Krishna says this one in the 18th chapter. So likewise, one must be very dear to the Lord in order to know the Lord. And also Lord says that one too. Bhaktosmi, Priyosimi. So Arjuna, to the Arjuna, that's why I'm revealing Bhagavad Gita to you, O Arjuna. You are dear to me. And then Lord is unlimited. No one can know him completely, but one's advancement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord can make one eligible to know the Lord. This is the he can only understand the Supreme Lord's bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan shashmi tatpatah. When he understands, then only he enter into the spiritual world. Here we can see that Lord is sufficiently pleased with Brahmaji. So he says, Tvayaham toshitah samyak veda garbha sisrukshaya. So he mentions in the beginning as, I am very pleased with you, O Brahma. And therefore he offers his causeless mercy to him so that Brahmaji may have factual realization of the Lord by his mercy. Here not by personal endeavor, it is by Lord's mercy. When we have personal endeavor and on top of it, Lord's mercy. So both will go together, but mercy, this is, there is a special position for those devotees. When Lord is more melting towards the devotee, about that whenever devotee is doing his activities completely selflessly for Krishna, how much risk he is taking, then Lord will see that one. So, and in the Vedas also it is said that a person cannot know the absolute truth, personality of Godhead simply by dint of mundane education or intellect. So this is all this, material education, no value. In the material education, one is receiving, oh, you are the topper, you are attaining 80%, 90%. What is that percent? That is to make you to work more and inspire you to work more like a donkey in the offices and work for them. That is the praises and glories they give it to you, the people in the offices. It is not beneficial to us. Either we work or we don't work, we get our salary. That is, it is standard and it is fixed. That destiny is already fixed by the Lord. Either we work or not. But however, devotee Swadharma Charanam Sektya, he works according to his stamina. He does not stretch beyond sacrificing the spiritual life for the sake of material work. So one should not take any praises coming from the managers or someone else in the offices, thinking that if they are giving such kind of things, they are expecting you to work more for them. And when you work more, your spiritual life has to be sacrificed. So we should not take those praises, but still we work according to, without expecting any results. We don't need any appraisals, or at the same time, we don't need to take the blames also. We work what is the work given to us. Be steady when we are executing our duties. We don't attach to the results. So one can know the supreme truth if one has unflinching faith in the bona fide spiritual master as well as in the Lord. This is once again by the mercy of the spiritual master. Such a faithful person, even though illiterate in the mundane sense, can know the Lord automatically by the mercy of the Lord. And the Lord deserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavurtaha. So this is Lord reveals, conceals himself from the faithless by his yogamaya potency. Very beautifully explaining Prabhupada in explaining this verse. So much of going into different parts of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, self-realizations and everything. Okay, can I request as a devotee to read the next two paragraphs?
Can I
I
ask
will
this
read
question once more? Can I ask a question?
Who is reading?
And I'm saying that can I ask a question like
Yes, Mataji.
like you just said like there's one form and Krishna, so, but Krishna has many forms, so we can like not prayer like just says Gajendra Stuti, which is pray to the Vishnu, and like Narsimha prayer we are doing. So it is like not right to like to do, or only just Krishna.
So we can pray to any form of the Lord, all the swamshas, they're of the same potency. But we are Krishna devotees attached to Krishna in his Vibhuja form. Alola Chandra Kalasadvara Malya Vamsi, that Krishna. We need Tribhanga Krishna, and who is enjoying with the gopis and Radharani in the Goloka, and with the all other Gopa boys and the cows. We want that Krishna, who is completely taking his position as a servant. Yam Yam manyase matuleyam priyam mitram suhurtamam akaro sachivam dhutam sahrudad atasaradim, who has come assisting the Pandavas just like all these things. I want that Govinda to worship. Prabhupada mentions and stresses that is his eternal form, and the Narayana forms are Krishna's expansions in the Vaikuntha. And Narayana further expands like Sankashana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, and Sankashna expands Mahavishnu form and in his Mahavishnu forms. So, and Vishnu is used a number of times in Gajendra prayers. Gajendra does not use the name of the Lord. He is glorifying the Lord Supreme at those prayers. Whoever is creating, whoever is the source of everything, whoever is maintaining this entire cosmic manifestation, from whom everything is, he is pointing to the Supreme Personality of Godhead without addressing the Lord's name. Those are the glorious prayers.
Like in our Hare Krishna month also we are Ram, like we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram. So we are chanting the Ram as well. So that is also not something.
So the Rama is the pleasure potency of the Lord, and Krishna is the Supreme Person. It is all attractive personality of Godhead, and he is in the dark bluish, either bluish color or dark complexion, Shama color, Nilotpaladhala Shamam, Senkachakara Gadadharam. So here the Vishnu and the Krishna, their color is the Shama color. And the Rama also the same. So there is no difference in his Ramadi Mutishu Kalane Mehnatistunnanavataram Akurod Bhuvaneshu Krintu Krishna Swayam Samabhaut Parama Kumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna is the original lamp, and all other Kala, Ramadi Mutishu Kala Nemenatistun. There's the Kala avatars. But original form, like on the other day, Sharanya Mataji mentioned, Krishna, like a father in the home, father in the office. Krishna in the home that is actual Krishna in the two-handed form. When he goes to four-handed, it is kind of opulence in the Vaikuntha. And then when he comes to the material world, that is Mahavishnu, Karnodaksai Vishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, for the material cosmic manifestations. Even though they are in the Yoga Nidra, but somewhere or other they're in contact with the material world. But actually, Supreme Lord in the opulent form in the Vaikuntha as Narayana, and Supreme Lord in the Goloka like a home, and in the Rasa Vigraha, experiencing those mellows with the devotees. So we want the Krishna devotees, they wanted to relish that rasas. That's why we worship Krishna.
Okay, thank you.
Rasavit, we are all Rasavit. Who knows the taste in relishing those devotional service in a particular mood? They are the Rasavit.
Yeah, thank you. Very true.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay.
Prabhu, shall I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
To the faithful, the Lord reveals himself in his form, quality, and pastimes. The Lord is not formless, as wrongly conceived by the impersonalist, but his form is not like one that we have experienced. The Lord discloses his form even to the extent of measurement to his pure devotees, and that is the meaning of Yavan, as explained by Srila Jiva Goswami, the greater scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord discloses the transcendental nature of his existence. The mundane wranglers make mundane conceptions of the form of the Lord, It is said in the revealed scriptures that the Lord has no mundane form. Therefore, persons with a poor fund of knowledge conclude that he must be formless. They cannot distinguish between the mundane form and the spiritual form. According to them, without a mundane form, one must be formless. This conclusion is also mundane because formlessness is the opposite conception of form. Negation of the mundane conception does not establish a transcendental fact. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord has a transcendental form and that he can utilize any one of his senses for any purpose. For example, he can eat with his eyes and he can see with his leg. In the mundane conception of form, one cannot eat with one's eyes or see with his leg. That is the difference between the mundane body and the spiritual body of Satchidananda. Our spiritual body is not formless. It is a different type of body, of which we cannot conceive with our present mundane senses. Formless, therefore, means devoid of mundane form, or possessing a spiritual body of which the non-devotees can have no conception by the speculative method.
Thank you, Mataji. Any points, Mataji, you wanted to explain here?
Yes, Prabhu. As you have already explained that Lord only reveals himself in his form, quality, existence, and pastimes to only his pure devotees. And of course, we have seen from many from scriptures like Brahma Samhita, where Lord Brahma described the form of the Lord, described the where Lord lives, what happens in Golok Vrindavana, everything is described fully. But even though, because people have very poor fund of knowledge, people do not know scriptures, people do not want to listen to acharyas, people do not want to follow the mahajans and acharyas, and due to their poor fund of knowledge, they conclude that the Lord has no form. Because to understand Krishna is very, very difficult. To know Krishna is very, very difficult. The easier option is to conclude that the Lord has no form. And then, just as the impersonalists conclude that he has no form, because for them it is really difficult, because without executing the devotional service, it is not possible to understand the Lord. It is not possible to know the Lord. It is impossible to know the Lord by mundane knowledge, by scholarship, by our teeny tiny intelligence, or by our imperfect senses, because we are full of defects. So we should not be depending on our imperfect senses. We should not be depending on our mental speculations. We should not be depending on our everything about us is imperfect, on our tiny intelligence, which is also imperfect. So we should only take instructions from the Shastra or scriptures. And only then we know the truth, and only then we know that, what is what, and we can get rid of these misconceptions.
Thank you, Mataji. So, we do explained. Generally, so Krishna mentions avajhananti mamudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajhananto mama bhota maheshwaram. They're the foolish. They don't have any the spiritual vision at all. Non-devotee can have no conception by the speculative method. This can be in physically. We also understand some people, the gentlemen, they wear nice suit and boot, and then they come and appear and they speak something. But within that dress, their body may be very ugly, and it is decorated with so much of the creams and like that. But in the same way, there is a very beautiful person who has got good body, but he doesn't have the suit and boot. He will have normal ordinary dhoti and kurta. So when we see the original body is different than the dress, that can be easily perceived. And within that body, the mind and thoughts and thought process is going on very purely. We see the difference of a devotee and also non-devotee. So that would be subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego. And this is whenever a devotee engages and keep on hearing and chanting, then the material body, once it gets digested, the subtle body also gets digested. Then one will reveal his own form. Jarayati yashu yakosham nigirna manaloyata. Jarayati yashu yakosham. Yakosham, that is the subtle body. And it will be Jarati yashu yakosham nigirna manaloyata. It will be digested. Then one can see the Yadarahitam Bhutendri Gunasayaihi. Swarupen mayopetam pasyan swarajyam ruchyati. Swarupen, this is the Swarupa Siddhi. Siddho vipasiti yataha adhikama swarupam, that is the Siddhi. Animittena bhagavati gatihi siddher gariyasi, that is the Siddhi, original form, the spiritual form. Dhurvibhavyam parabhavya swarupena avatistate, that is his original form, that Chidananda, Satchidananda form. There is a lots of difference. It cannot be understood through the material body and also subtle body. We cannot speculate to the mind and intelligence also, because this pure consciousness is completely different. The Vasudeva Siddhi, Syantam Bhagavataha Padam, Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam, that pure consciousness, that is the Satchidananda, spiritual body. So thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully explained.
Prabhu, I would just like to mention one thing, that because we are so much covered by the mode of ignorance, we do not understand that we are not this body, and we have a spiritual body, and upon this spiritual body, our material body is developed. So because we cannot even see that, we cannot even realize that we are not this body. We can only see our body, our material body. Of course, we cannot see our subtle body either. And then forget about understanding soul. We cannot even see our subtle body, and we can only see our gross body. So we think the same for God, because of our mode of ignorance, because we are so much covered by ignorance, that that Krishna is Krishna's transcendental form, or the difference between matter and spirit. As Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, that Krishna can use any of his senses for any purposes. He can eat with his eyes, or he can see with his leg, because this is beyond our knowledge, because this is beyond our intelligence. We do not understand. We do not understand this. But at least when we do not understand it, we should take the knowledge from the scripture. We should take the knowledge from the sadhu. But most of the people, they do not do that. They are very much dependent on their intelligence. They are very much dependent on the mental speculation. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, that is true. People are conditioned, so they don't have any shelter. They cannot understand, and that is the devotees. Then the devotees in that position to give the opportunity to the conditioned soul. So they hear from a devotees and come to Krishna consciousness. That is the only thing they can. What else they can do? Conditioned souls. There is nothing they can. It is very hard. even we also experience these things very difficult. Devotees also experience very difficult. But how can it is be possible for the non-devotees? It is very simple. The conditions also. Okay, so can I request the devotee to read the next paragraph and another? Can I request Gaurangi Mataji? Would you like to take part? Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji, please.
The Lord from Prabhuji?
Yes, here Mataji. Yeah.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. The Lord disclosed to the devotees his unlimited varieties of transcendental bodies, all identical with one another with different kind of bodily features. Some of the transcendental bodies of the Lord are black, kiss, and some of them are witches, some of them are reddish, and some are yellowish. Some of them are four-handed, and some of them two-handed. Some of them are like the fish, and some are like the lion. All these different transcendental bodies of the Lord without any differential category are disclosed to the devotees of the Lord by the mercy of the Lord, and those the impersonalists false uh, arguments claiming the formuleness of the supreme truth do not appeal to a devotee of the Lord, even though such a devotee may not be very advanced in devotional service.
Continue, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Continue, Mataji, please.
Okay, Prabhuji. The Lord has unlimited numbers of transcendental qualities, and one of them is His offense for His unalloyed devotee. In the Mm, history of the Mandarin's word, we can appreciate his transcendental qualities. The Lord incarnate himself for the protection of his devotees and for the annihilation of the faithless. His activities are in relationship with his devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of such activities of the Lord in relationship with his devotees, and the non-devotees have no knowledge of such pastime. The Lord lifted the Govardhana hill when he was only 7 years old and protect his pure devotees at Vrindavana from the wrath of Indra, who was overflowing the place with rain. Now, this lifting of the Govardhana hill by a 7 years old boy may be unbelievable for the faithless, but for the devotees, it is absolutely believable. The devotee believed in the Almighty potency of the Lord, while the faithless say that the Lord is ultimately, but do not believe it. Such men with a poor fund of knowledge do not now know that the Lord is the Lord internally, and that one cannot become the Lord by meditation for millions of years or by mental specialization for billions of years. The impersonal interpretation of the mundane Virgilus is completely refused in this verse because it is clearly stated here that the Supreme Lord has his qualities from pastime and everything that each person has. All these description of the transcendental nature of the personality of Godhead are factual realization by the deputies of the Lord and by the causeless mercy of the Lord. They are relieved to his pure devotee and to no one else. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully read. So this is the once again Prabhupada from Prabhupada's pen. All this nectar of these words have come. So the Lord discloses to his devotee. So here that is what Lord says. Yavanahum yata bhavu yadrupa guna karmakaha tataiva tat vijnanam aste mad anugrahat. So when the devotee is blessed with like that, and the devotee is seeing Lord's different forms and all pastimes, and he cannot accept any impersonalist false arguments claiming that formless of the Supreme. So the devotee does not accept those kind of things. Whenever otherwise there is no existence of Bhagavatam. When there is no existence of Bhagavatam and not existence of the Puranas and not even Vedas. So impersonate false arguments, it will go and it will question the spirituality itself. So such a dangerous personal false argument, for impersonalist false arguments. So devotees will never ever accept any false arguments from the. So devotees are always they're taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. They take from scriptural injunctions. I have seen my father and I have seen my grandfather, but they speak about their fathers. But I might not have seen my great grandfather, but they existed. They have performed so many things that here itself I am seeing so much of changes. Why not when it is changing to different yugas? And everything is under the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vartanti anuyugam etat sacharacharam. Everything is by the even the three demigods Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Gunabhimayano Devaha, Sargadisha, Sargadishu Asya, Yad Bhayat, by Supreme Personality of Godhead, everyone, all these three material modes of nature, the deities and also demigods, everyone are fear of Supreme Personality. They work. So even the fear of the father, the children work, the wife also works. This is the one has to realize these things. Otherwise, if formless means that we are questioning everything as the existence of the spirituality itself. So whenever spirituality conceives, it is inconceivable and it is unlimited. The consciousness, even if we experience within our body, consciousness from toes to the head, everywhere this consciousness existing. This is the realization. And this is inside the body and also outside the body. The same, the air also having the body. This is Marutas. Marutas, they are the deities for this air. Marichihi Marutamasmi. So Krishna says, I am the Marichi out of the all these demigods. These are the demigods for the air. Air also has got a body, but we do not first perceive Vayu Deva and Varuna Deva and water have got all these bodies. They are all carrying out their duties. Sravanti Sarita Bhetaha. All these rivers, they flow because of the Bheta, fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They carry out their duties. And also, Navuttarpati Udadirgyataha. The ocean does not cross the beach. Navuttarpati Udadirgyataha. How come everything is working perfectly? The oceans doesn't, and also Agnihi Inde. The fire doesn't blaze with if Agni blazes because the fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Sagiribihi Bohu, the earth, it is carrying so many oceans and also mountains, so many big buildings, everything. Sagiribihi Bohu, Namajjati Yad Bhayat, it doesn't sink in the Garbhodaka ocean because the fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are so many things to, and we realize in day-to-day life, when a person who knows the swimming, he can just float in the water. If he doesn't know, he will sink and die. As simple as that. A devotee, he understands, and then he swims and he crosses the materialness signs very easily. Otherwise, who is a non-devotee, he will sink and die. As simple as that. That is the devotee and non-devotee. So at the end, what is happening to our body? This body is going to vanish, either we believe it or not believe it. By the time, what we need to do, our consciousness, we have to attain our Swarupa back, which was earlier, which was covered with so much of contamination, unlawful desires, and separated from the Lord. And we need to take out those bodies and go back to in original form and associate with the Lord. So this is the Lord has got unlimited numbers of transcendental qualities. And see, this is how devotees stay with the Lord. This is in the previously also when Brahma was saying the Lord is staying with his the associates in the Vaikuntha planet. He's enjoying sitting opposite to the devotees and giving them pleasure. So this is how there is no offensive talkings like all the mundane people get showing off like that. The Lord is he is the pleasure giving to the devotees. Very beautifully explains. This is what is the verse in the 9th chapter itself. Here the Bhritya Prasadabhimukam Durgasavam Prasannahasa Arunalochananam Kiritinam Kundalinam Chiturbhujam Pitam Sukam Vakshasi Lakshitam Shriya. So the Lord's form is so beautiful. It can be understand through the sound vibrations. Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. Then we understand the Lord's very beautiful form is manifested with all the opulences sitting next to the Radharani, and Radharani serving the Lord. It is so blissful even to hear. And when we are seeing with the transcendental vision and going personally in the spiritual planet, how beautiful it is. See, that one is missing by all these foolish people. Okay, and here to give, because the devotees of the Lord, they are separated from the spiritual planet and coming to this material world. Again, the Lord doesn't forget us, and He incarnate Himself for the protection of His devotees and for the annihilation of the faithless. And His activities are in relationship with His devotees. They are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is full of such activities of the Lord. And the non-devotees have no knowledge of such pastimes. They cannot experience it. So like lifting of Govardhana hill by 7-year-old child. It is when Lord has a baby, 10 days baby, when he is able to kill the Putana demon and also kill the Trunavatta and Sekatasura. So many other demonic people Krishna killed. So either good or bad, everything, whenever it comes to the fire, everything will burn. Likewise, a good person or bad person, we have a desires or no desires when we go to Krishna, then we will relish and realize those pastimes. Okay, so this is everything for a non-devotee. It is a kind of a unbelievable for them. That's why they engage themselves in the hard working. Because nastatmano alpabuddhayaha. They have little intelligence. Okay, the devotee is always at the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord in such a way. He understands all Lord's pastimes, but by the Munis, Pantastu Koti Satavatsar Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Munipungavanam. This is the meditation for millions of years by mental speculation. They cannot reach. So, but only devotee can understand. So that is beautifully explained here in this purport. And all his likewise, Lord is saying, Yavanaham yathabhavo yadrupa gunakarmakha tataiva tatu vijnanam astute mad anugrahat. By my mercy, you will understand everything scientifically by the causeless mercy of the Lord and no one else. Thank you, Mataji, for reading, and thank you so much, all the dear devotees, to taking part in this very beautiful understanding of the Lord's instruction and what he is blessing Brahma with all the Krishna's pastimes, forms, qualities, and his activities, everything. So later on, Brahma. So these are the two verses we have covered. So much of nectar here itself. Next one is the actual Chatushloki Bhagavata. So this is the prelude, and here the Chatushloki Bhagavata, it is having so much of purport given by all of our acharyas. Prabhupada has summarized everything here, quoting different things. So this one shloka may be covered at least 2 to 3 weeks, I believe. So much of purport, still it is going on. So this is 33 verse. We shall cover that one in the next Saturday. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, dear devotees, any questions here or any additions or any comments?
Hare Krishna, this twice is repeated, like Chatusloki Bhagavatam is there twice on the Bhagavad Gita. They mentioned somewhere in the place as well.
Yes, Mataji. So this is Bhagavatam. That is Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. That is the seed of seed verses for the entire Bhagavad Gita. These are the 4 seed verses for the Bhagavatam. And here, Narayana, Lord Narayana is speaking to Brahma. There Krishna is speaking to Arjuna.
So this one is Krishna speaking to Arjuna.
Yes.
Chatusloki, but there is other one as well.
Sorry, this one, Bhagavatam, Narayana is speaking to Brahmaji. So whatever we are reading, this is Lord Narayana instructions to Brahma.
Okay, but there is other Chatusloki Bhagavata as well, somewhere mentioned.
That is Bhagavad Gita.
No, because I got like somewhere like other like from other place where there is shloka is different, but it says Chatusloki Bhagavata.
Yeah, this is what we are doing, Chatushloki Bhagavatam. This is
this shloka and that one is not the same.
Could you please, if you know those verses?
I said Bhagavan Vacha said Ahameva Imavagri Nanyadayat Sadat Param Pratyadam Adetecham Yo Vashyasest So Ashyaham.
Yes, this is the verse.
Okay, Ruteya Yat. So other one is Ruteya Yat Pratiyeta Chatmani Taditha the Atmanu Maya Yatha Masu Yatha Tama.
Yes.
Okay, it's the 33. Okay.
Yeah, these are 33, 34, 35, 36.
Okay, so we have read 32 and 33.
No. We have read until only 32. So we do it 33 in the next Saturday.
Okay, because this one, like I got started from 33. So like
yeah. Yes,
was not with 31, 32.
Yeah, we did only 32 and 31 and 32 today. So now
Yeah,
we
but
are
this is
going
also part of
enter
the
into.
Chatusloki Bhagavatam.
This is the prelude, but it contains what prelude in the sense. The Lord is, before speaking to Chatishloki Bhagavatam, giving 4 slokas, he is saying about the signs and about his qualities, forms, that mercy he is giving to Brahma. And then after telling all those mercy to Brahma, the Lord actually speak this Chatishloki Bhagavata. What is
Which
the,
is starting from 33.
yes,
Okay. All right. Sorry. I was like reading, I was like 31, 32 also Chatusloki Bhagavatam. I was just understanding it better. Okay.
that is
That's
the prelude for the,
so yeah, that is right. 33 started Ahamvar.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So you are advancedly learning Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm very pleased to know that.
Not learn advance, but I just have somewhere written. So
Yeah, it is the same.
yeah, it is the same. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So now it is already time. We are past 4 to break the fast. Some devotees, they might have break on the fast at 8:04.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Maybe Meena Mataji asked that one, but I don't understand properly. So you're talking about Chatusloki Bhagavatam. What is the difference of Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chatusloki Bhagavatam, Prabhuji?
So Chatishloki Bhagavatam. So the Lord, it is the four verses. So here says, I am the person. Lord is saying to Brahma, Brahma, I am the personality of Godhead who was existing before the creation, where there was nothing but only myself. Nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. So that which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, only I will remain. I am the personality of Godhead. Likewise, Narayana saying to Brahma, that is the one statement. Second statement, everything is connecting to me that has got a truthful existence. That is the second statement. Third statement, like all the material elements, they exist separately. At the same time, they also enter into the cosmic. For example, we have got human body. Our body is composed of the 5 elements. At the same time, air, earth, water, fire, and all these existing outside also. Likewise, this universe is there. And likewise, Krishna explains that is the third statement. And fourth statement, for everyone's research and understanding, trying to search for the absolute truth, and they keep on searching. At the end, they will come to Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That understanding, that is the fourth statement. And these 4 statements, the Lord spoke to Brahma, and Brahma spoke to Narada Muni, and then he little bit expanded. Narada Muni spoke to Vyasadev, it got expanded further. Vyasadev has given more expanded this Bhagavatam into 12 cantos, like we have, that is the Srimad Bhagavatam, what we are releasing now. And Prabhupada has given more purports for every verse, that is more relishing for us. It is the expansion of the same thing.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. So now it's clear, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
So which I was talking is one of the yeah, he also said that every day at least you recite like this four sloka. So
Yes,
this is
Mataji.
very auspicious.
Yes.
It's not from ISKCON, but yeah, somewhere different. But yeah.
Yeah, every day reciting these verses is very, very important. And one has to by heart these 4 verses, then everything else also will be revealed. Aham evasam evagre nan yad yad sad asat param paschadaham yedetaccha yoshisheda sosmiham pratiyadham yad pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyad atmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु च वचेष्वनु प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु नत्वेष्वहम् एतावदेव जिज्ञासुं तत्विज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. So likewise, Krishna says, Etan matam samatishta paramena samadhina bhavan kalpa vikalpeshu navimuhiti karichet. So once you injected with this knowledge at any point of time, kalpa vikalpeshu, even though we sleep and wake up, and even though Brahma, even night time also, once you wake up, and you will always be in this knowledge. You will never be navimuhiti, you will not be bewildered. That is Chatushloki Bhavat. Always remember these things very beautifully. So that one, all this is a translation, and also the purport are very, very important for us. It is expanded further to relish for the devotees. Okay, that is Chatushloki Bhavata. We will cover that one on the next Saturday. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam for today. If you're all happy, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Unless if you have got any questions, sir.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Yes, it's so nectar, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, there is also Ekashloki Bhagavatam as well, isn't it?
Ekashloki Bhagavatam is different. That contains
Uddhav.
Ekashloki Bhagavata, Ekashloki Ramayanam, and Bharatam, and they are in a different way. They are not this one. So this is further expanded.
Yeah, these are different. Yeah, I'm saying, but there is something Ekashloki Bhagavatam as well.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so if there are no further things, we shall conclude our session. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
हरे कृष्ण पंचस्ते एवरीवन।
Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास